Mission accomplished this week on the Hapless Heroes.
Well, he was a robot and he shot us with other robots. There's a lot of other stuff going on. We have a box of mushrooms for you.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Hapless Heroes podcast. I'm Francesco, and tonight I continue to be your host and DM as we explore the aftermath of our recent adventure. Before we get to that, let's introduce the people who were involved in said adventure. Starting on my virtual left, we have Dave playing March.
Hey, how's it going?
Lewis as Lev Zangief.
Hello.
Michael as Brunner Brew Blitzboar.
Evening, y'all.
Sebastian as Choom Deloom.
That's it. We just let it fly.
Nicole as Glorp Glup Glup.
A monkey.
Yeah, your face is kind of pressed against a monkey. It's tiny, though. Okay, yeah, that's great. I think we figured out what you said there. And John is Jam Jam.
Jam Jam is going to get this chest open.
Yeah, so just a quick recap for our audience. Last time, the party attempted to hack the remains of the android formerly known as Jeff, formerly known as Mulligan, who was formerly the pilot of this aircraft, or
formerly
spacecraft.
Human, as far as we were
formerly
concerned.
human as well, yes. Choom has assumed the role of the pilot, and since the pilot's chair was ripped out with Jeff still welded to it, Glorp has decided to act as the chair for Choom as you head back to the flotilla. We have Brew working the navigation console. Brew, there was some information that you had uncovered as you were kind of combing through and plotting the course, you know, that this shuttle has been out of operation for about 12 years, and that was the last time that any sort of flight was charted from it. There's no other flight logs between then and now, including, you know, the flight that you were supposed to be leaving on. With a, you know, chartered pilot. So there are some hard drives in your possession. Some of them have been, or at least were damaged by a drill press, but I know that Glorp at some point was doing some sort of mending on some of these drives to like maybe at least physically repair them. We have not obviously attempted to see what kind of data is inside. However, March's hacking tool / arcane focus / power glove thing is a bit on the fritz as he has been what appears to be counter-hacked or pwned by a mysterious person who only goes by the name The Seeker, whose property this android is. So here we are now on the shuttle exiting the Marion Cluster Solar System or Wild Space System. We are about to cross into astral space. As we're about to do that, right, because I did mention it was going to take about 30 minutes from when you had left and entered cruising speed to get from your location to the edge of the wild space system to cross that boundary. I'd like to just bring us back into the ship, get the conjecture going, kind of see, at least between now and in the 3 weeks it's going to take to get back to the flotilla, are there any significant investigative or other actions that you would like to take before making it back to the people who sent you on this mission to begin with? I know that we attempted to try to hack Jeff, but it was unsuccessful. And our hacker is a bit salty at the moment.
I'm really just going to be licking my digital wounds for the next 3 weeks and trying to, you know, both of my computers are out of commission, so I've got to cobble something together out of spare parts to do diagnostics on them because I'm not going to sit without anything for 3 weeks.
I'll have you roll me something in a little bit there, and then Lev,
right.
I think you were going to mention something as well.
I was just saying, you know, should we try to call Percy?
Yeah, I think one of you had asked that last time or had mentioned like, yeah, we're definitely going to try to contact him again. So we'll say that if no one else is going to do anything before we leave the system, I think we had scanned already. There was no other other ships that you had seen in here. So we're just going to say that we are now entering the astral sea. So all biological processes have been sort of paused. There is this brief sort of strange and very subtle shift that you feel as you cross the boundary of this system, as kind of you did when you entered, just in reverse. Brew. I also did note that you had realized that some of those damp stains on your clothing had a bit of a bioluminescence to them, or just a luminescence to them.
Not just in blacklight.
No. I would say that the glow is starting to fade slightly, but there is a faint glow to this gross liquid that is staining your clothing.
That's subjective.
You don't remember much from when you had passed out. You just remember kind of feeling like, you were starting to get on the mend for this space sickness you were feeling, and then it just took a nosedive.
Yeah.
And then you were out. And then you woke up and your friends were fighting some robots. So I'm sure it's been a little disorienting for me. I mean, you got the maps to focus on. This is something that at least is familiar to you, but there might be some. I may ask if there's anything you want to explore about that, or try to piece together about this mysterious sickness that you had, because this does seem a little bit unusual than just like a seasickness, we'll call it, right? On account of usually when you are sick, you don't really producing glowing substances when you are doing so. So,
sure, yeah.
What would we like to do first? I guess I'm going to ask the group. Do we want to try to call Percy first? Do we want to wait till we get a little closer to call Percy? How do we, what's the order of operations, or does anyone have anything that's significant that they want to try to do? I know I'm leaving it up to all of you to decide, but if you want, I can even just go around if that would be helpful.
I have useless things that are not immediate, so I will wait.
Okay. So
what's the harm in letting him?
Sorry, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just saying, what's the harm in just letting him know that we're okay and on the way? And if he's okay, if someone's attacked us, surely they might have tried to attack him.
Yeah, the only reason I suggested potentially if you wanted to wait till you get closer, you'd have a better chance of getting a clearer communication signal than the current distance you are between, where you are and where the flotilla currently is.
That's all Jam was going to say about the calling. Is it might be a little better signal as we get closer.
Yeah, so we could just say maybe a week or so into your journey, maybe try calling him again and seeing if you can get a bit of a more of a clear conversation. So we'll put that on the docket. I might have March. I did mention. Oh, sorry, Glorp. You have a hand raised?
Yeah, Glorp has a hand raised. So Glorp's going to first shift their face so it's on the back of their head.
Yeah, I could have sworn you had already done that, but your intro was funny, so I didn't want to correct you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I grew the chair to the top of my head, but I also just had an idea and wanted to run with it. So yeah, Glorp.
You had mentioned you were like a beanbag chair essentially, but you had kind of the headrest is where your face is.
Okay.
That's what you had told. I think that's what you had described to me.
And
before.
I'm really
That's how I pictured it.
Cool.
I'm like
so
a
I
cat
flip my
in a
face
beanbag.
onto the back of the headrest, I guess, so that we're Choom from the front and Glorp from the back, like some sort of horrific Jello, or like a Choom 70s Jello entree. I don't.
And since the cabin door is open, that way you're able to turn and see the rest of your companions all behind you, right? Whoever's
We'll call it
operating
Gloom.
some of the stuff up here.
Exactly.
Project Gloom.
And
All right.
Glorp says to the group,
So was Jeff always a robot, or was he a person that became a robot, or is Jeff on a
It's a
milk
deep
carton
question.
now? Do we need to put him on a milk carton now?
Are you suggesting that he was a werebot?
March, not even looking up from his screen. Yeah, because it's sexually transmitted.
Someone had sex with Jeff?
Yeah, I know. It's hard to believe, ain't it?
Well, I mean, his body was so hard. Kind of makes sense, I guess.
Oh no. Time and time again. You guys this is where we go. This is the first place you go. Just
Well, he's about to be
Would
my
you prefer
chair,
it's the
so-
last place we go?
Sometimes it is too. Sometimes we get both.
Oh my god.
anyways.
Can Jam be just progressively trying to pick this other crate that we got?
Yeah, so the way that so when we think about the way that dice rolls work in Dungeons and Dragons, it's supposed to represent your best effort, right? At trying to do a thing. However, I might give you just one more attempt to try to crack it. You know, you're gonna be okay. You know what? I was a little unfocused. I was just getting shot at, so I was not doing my best work. I might give you one more try with your thieves' tools. Yeah, why not? Let's resolve that really quick.
Hey, got a 19.
All right, yeah, we like that. This time, you're just like, yeah, now that I can focus, right? I can click this lock open, let's pop it open.
Tons of time to do it.
The contents of this case are different.
Ooh.
Whereas
we still don't even know what that was in the other one.
Correct. You did. You had done a nature check, but it didn't tell you much aside from this. It was not necessarily something that would naturally occur. It looks like something that was like synthesized or created, but maybe in one of the labs. This thing you're looking at actually is just like it looks like a terrarium.
Oh,
that's in here, and it's like it's surrounded by like a foam, like it's a spherical terrarium, and it's surrounded by like a foam like protector. Inside of this terrarium, you can see there are various species of flora, all like, you know, and it's I mean the terrarium it's probably the size of like maybe like a basketball, I would say, as far as like this how large it is inside of this case. And the rest of it is literally just foam surrounding it. You can see it on the top and the bottom, right, just to kind of keep it from jiggling around or being damaged. And it's a lot of different, like you can see, like there's like small flowers, moss, like different like ferns even, and like a lot of these look alien and unfamiliar to you.
Okay.
Some of these plants are even glowing. Make me an intelligence check. Maybe even make me a nature check, Jam.
Okay. Yeah, I got that. 10.
It's middle ground.
A 10? The only thing that tells you is that you've never encountered, I mean, you've been exposed to a little bit more in the, you know, almost year, right? The 8 months or whatever you were aboard the flotilla and traveling to wherever you were on some of the smuggling, like, missions you were shadowing along for, right? But you've never seen, you know, these types of plants before. These are entirely alien to you. However, the one thing that is more or less obvious to you is that the luminescence coming from some of these plants, which look like actually fungus to you in some way, are producing the same tone of glow as that is on Brew's clothing.
Oh, okay. Could I do an insight check as to why this would be in the security room?
I mean, what are you trying to glean from an insight check? You want to know? Just like,
is it poisonous? Is it?
I don't know if an insight check would necessarily tell you that, because that's where a nature check would have been helpful. What I will say, without having to make you roll anything, is that obviously, like, if this is trying to be preserved, like someone is going to be trying to save this, or at least just keep it away, or I mean, it's in like a secure container. So like there must be something significant enough about the plants or whatever is contained within, you know, this terrarium that it would have been saved or put off to the side. I'm not going to make you roll for that. I mean, because that's pretty much all you're going to really be able to posit from what you're looking at here.
And the only other thing I would try to do then is try to figure out what the blue vials are in the other container that we had.
Well, you had tried to do that and were unsuccessful in trying to figure that out. You're not going to be able to suddenly come up with new information on what they are unless you want to do something besides observe them.
You could
try
it.
to remove one of these vials, which are only about, I'd say, about 4 inches tall and about, like, I don't know, half an inch wide. You know, like there's little cylinders. There are like would appear to be screw like stoppers on top, and they appear to have some sort of like rubber or silicone like sealant at the base of where it screws on.
Okay.
So these are like sealed airtight, but it looks like you could like twist them and unscrew them if you wanted to.
I don't think Jam would be impulsive enough to drink that. That sounds like it's going to be the only real way for him to figure out right now based on the information he has. Maybe he'll bring it back to Percy and see what he thinks or something along those lines.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds good.
He thinks one of these two things is going to be hopefully what he pays off, what was his name? Tink with.
Yeah. I will also, I guess, just mention, I guess, you've done that over the course of like some of this time, but unless otherwise noted, right, this is information that's shared with everybody, so everyone is aware of the contents of these cases and can do whatever they want with them over this travel period. So I guess next step, I'm going to have March make me. So you have some spare parts and you have some things. You're going to try to have to cobble something together. You had mentioned, right, to at least try to do some basic tasks until you can get back into a lab or do whatever it is that you do when no one else is around. And
we'll talk about that.
I will have you just make me another computers check. You love those. You make a lot of those. Let's make one more.
So a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 is good. So using the some of the parts that were not too singed or broken from your like your mini computer, like that portable device that you had brought with you at that air gapped or whatever device it was that you were messing around with before you guys entered this system. You were able to splice some parts of that with even. Would you use parts from your power glove? Or would you?
No, because I'm trying to do diagnostics on the power glove.
On the power glove.
I'm trying to repair that.
I'm going to say that you've had to borrow some non-essential components from the ship itself.
What?
In order to repair it. I will give you an opportunity to decide if you would want to continue with that. They are non-essential components. It's going to be things like maybe you may have to borrow it from like the onboard like media player or like the some of the non-essential systems. You may have to borrow some parts from. I'm going to allow you to name
not the
for me.
8-track, not the 8-track.
Yeah, so have you name for me just like just name a part. Name a part of the ship that would be non-essential. And that's what you're going to have to borrow the parts from, and no one else can use that for the rest of this ride or until you fix it.
So you're saying not the HVAC system.
8-track, the 8-track, not the HVAC, 8-track.
The boom baps.
One plays music and one blows air.
Oh, let's see. It's a good non-essential system that would make for fun for the whole family.
I want to give you agency in this choice, so I didn't want to just tell you which piece of the ship, right? I offered a suggestion if you can't think of anything, but otherwise.
The inside the ship communication network. So everyone has to get up and talk to each other. So Choom's favorite comms like button thing is no longer functional. I love this. Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. So it is said, so it shall be done. The onboard, like the internal communication, like the intercom is no longer functional on the ship. March has had to borrow some parts from that to do some diagnostics on his equipment. Beautiful. Thank you, March.
Welcome.
So we're going to have all that going on. Some, time is passing. I'm going to just roll some dice to hear the sound they make.
That's never the reason.
Okay, so the journey is, at least for the first, I'm going to say the first week at sea, smooth as hell. The autopilot is bumping. Y'all have been able to take some restful time, so we'll, obviously benefit from a long rest and all the things that come along with that. You can still rest in the sea, as we've discussed some of our lore episodes and things like that, but, it's more of like a mindful resting, just non-activity. So you've taken some time to rest, take some account of your surroundings. You're getting a little closer now to the flotilla. Like I said, you're probably about 2 weeks away, a week and a half away from reaching home. Choom, I see you have a finger raised. What is our illustrious pilot up to?
Well, first of all, as much as I love the gloom formation here, I would not put anyone in the position of being my seat for 3 weeks. So we would replace the chair again with the Jeff chair, as we've come to call it.
Okay, so, because you are on autopilot, so I guess you wouldn't necessarily have to just sit there the whole fucking time with Glorp as your chair, right? Now that all that's done. It was really just for as long as it felt cool to do so, and then it's kind of like, okay, that's kind of awkward. Like, I'm not really
3 weeks
doing
is not
anything.
enough time, actually.
Right.
Just saying.
So what I will say is that, the chair was literally ripped off of, like, where it was, like, moored and, like, welded into the cockpit, right?
Yep.
And Jeff is also currently still welded, or the remains of him are still welded to said chair, and that is down in your cargo bay of this shuttle. So first, you would have to. If you want to, do you want to reinstall the chair with Jeff still attached, or would you try to detach Jeff first?
I would do whatever the big hunky men on this shuttle are willing to do.
All right, big hunky men. I think he's talking to Brew and Lev.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Well, I'll take the compliment. Thank you.
Basically, if you're willing, I just need you to hold this chair approximately 2 to 3 inches off of this hole that we've made while I reaffix it to the ship.
With Jeff still attached? Again, I'm going to ask the question one more time.
It does not matter to me.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I'll sit in Jeffy's lap. It's fine.
I like that we've now completely invalidated removing the chair. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I mean, we did it in a fit of pique. We were a little upset. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you don't get like a little impulsive when you're upset about something, like your fucking equipment not working or something like that. Sometimes we get a little wild. We throw some shit around. No, just me.
Right. And
no,
also
this isn't
the
a
fact,
temper problem at all. Fuck you.
Also the fact that I wasn't 100% sure that he wouldn't just come robot again and try and kill me until I saw Jam Jam draw the mustache. Then I knew he was gone. So now I feel a lot safer.
Let it be known that while he already had a mustache, Jam Jam has drawn an additional one somewhere.
I also snagged a couple of conductors out of the neck, so if there's something connecting the brain to the rest of it,
why didn't we take parts from Jeff?
Well, I should remind you. I did mention that at least what you were able to see within Jeff, there were no parts that you were going to be able to actually pull out or connect to aside from that the eyeball piece, like the connector there.
Damn.
Because this was of a construction that is so advanced and so unknown to you, you had no idea how else to connect to it. So I would say that. It would have been much more difficult to try and salvage Jeff for parts compared to a piece of the ship, which is why I specifically stated the ship.
Oh, I didn't say they were functional parts. A little more cosmetic than anything else,
Sure.
But, sometimes it's about making yourself feel better.
Yeah.
Sure.
So what do you say, Beefcakes? Want to roll some dice for Chumi?
What do we say, Beefcakes? Do you want to roll some dice for Chumi?
I don't know what you mean by rolling dice, but I'll help him out.
I'm not
I'm
not necessarily going to say that they need to roll dice to just hold the chair up over where it was while you try to weld it back to its former state. I'm going to have you, Choom, while they hold it, make me a check with your mechanics tools. Thank you.
Absolutely, which I am proficient with.
And you would use your dexterity as the ability to tie to it.
Woo! That's a +5.
That'll be a dirty 17.
Good enough.
Nice.
It's not like a perfect weld. You can clearly see that this has been welded back onto the ship. You can clearly see the weld marks, but you've done a good job at making it solid. Glorp, you seem to have some feelings. I'm sorry about now being replaced as a chair. Am I reading your face correctly?
No, it's fine. Whatever. I don't care if Jeff is a better chair than me.
Not better, just not sentient. Something
he can
about
use his arms as a seatbelt. He can give you a big safe hug. It's fine.
Actually, you can't. His arms are still welded to the arms of the chair, so
we can break
give you a hug.
Why do I feel like at home, Choom and Glorp are just gonna randomly be in a chair, just chilling?
Just gonna have, yeah. I think Glorp is feeling a little slighted here. I can see it in their face.
I'm sorry. But you'll understand in a minute, because I wanted a chair that wasn't you, so you could spend your time doing whatever you want. Because I am going to spend almost the entirety of this 3 weeks trying to learn everything I can about this ship.
Yes, to gain your proficiency.
Puma.
To try to gain your proficiency in shuttles. Absolutely.
Yes.
And let it be said, for the remainder of this time, you are essentially intimately getting to know this ship.
Don't tell them that. Don't frame it like that.
No, I did.
already gave her a name.
I said it. I can't unsay words, John.
How
I'm sorry.
intimately?
I haven't learned that power yet. It would have served so well in many different parts of my life, but here we are.
The cockpit door has been shut.
I mean, I'm the one with bioluminescent goo all over me.
Did you hear that? He shut the door.
Oh, no.
The cockpit door is
I don't wear
shut.
socks, but, know.
Do you give the communication device that you used to call Percy to someone else before you close yourself in to have your private time with the ship?
Sure.
Who would you like to give it to? Who do you want to be in charge of calling Percy?
The only other person here that seemed remotely worried about. Also, he kind of always talks on the phone. I don't know why.
Lev is the worst phone caller.
You didn't even have to say his name, and we knew it was Lev. And Glorp. Glorp has also been on the phone, and
That's
and
true.
Not, that's true. So those are the two people who have operated phone devices at this point.
We're both really good at it.
Well,
Yeah. Who do you hand it to? You got two choices. You've already slighted Glorp too.
that's true.
I
I not only that, but also because of my viewing of all the things that Glorp has done, I have a very heightened overconfidence in Glorp's capabilities.
Yes, Glorp the hacker.
Yeah. So
Glorp?
I'd be like, Glorpy, you mind giving Percy a call, seeing if he's okay, and ask him about the danger too. Don't forget that.
Absolutely.
There is only really one button to push on this device, so it's pretty foolproof.
I would
push the button.
I look for a second button.
I
pushed the button. I pushed the button.
Okay.
the regret already sinking in.
For our audience and you as just audience members, now we cut the camera to a quiet bedroom in the Casa Concordia. Percival is pacing back and forth, looking worried. A device sits on his desk in there, which is littered with tools and different things like that. You can see that there's many different like telephone devices or communication devices all being disassembled and reassembled here, and it looks like he's almost had no idea what he's doing, but he was just trying his best. And then suddenly this strange device that looks similar to the one that Glorp is holding buzzes on his desk, and he rushes over to grab it. Glorp, on the other end, you hear, while a little staticky, much more clearly this time, a voice that just says,
Hello? June? Glorp? Anyone? Are you there?
Hello, may I please speak to Percival?
Oh, Glorp. I can't tell you how good it is to hear your voice. I have been so worried about all of you. Did you get my message about the danger?
We got some of your message, I think. We weren't sure if you were calling to tell us that the flotilla has a message that Proxy's not in danger, or that Proxy is in danger, or that Proxy is the danger, or maybe Proxy is a vampire, you're in danger, come back. I think there might have been other choices. Those are the ones I remember.
There's like there's a short pause, and then Percival says,
None of those things.
Ooh,
Or
what
what I
was the
said.
message?
I said the flotilla had sent me a message like a week ago or so, when after you had left. Proxy sent someone here to pick you up in the morning, and you were already gone.
Was his name Jeff?
He believes you are in danger because he has no idea where you are or who took you anywhere. He was quite flustered. Where are you? Where did you go? I feel like I haven't talked to you in like 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while. Was his name Jeff? This is important, Percival.
Was whose name, Jeff?
The person that came to pick us up. He might have been going by his codename Mulligan.
No, I didn't even catch the fellow's name, honestly. I wasn't home. I got the message from the flotilla. And Proxy said that you may be in danger because whoever they sent to pick you up said you were already gone.
Okay.
There was no one home. I was already at work, remember? I was at work when you left.
Yes. Sorry. A lot has happened since then. So I should tell everyone we might be in danger. Okay, hold on.
And Glorp puts down the phone. And goes to everyone else.
proceed. Yeah, proceed.
Is everyone else in a group Can I just assume
More
that
or
everyone
less.
else
I'm
is
on
not
the other
in
side of the
same
door,
room?
but I can hear you.
More or less.
Guys, I talked to Percival.
Oh,
So-
finally.
Jeff went to pick us up a week ago, but his name might not be Jeff, and we weren't there, so we might be in danger.
Jam's head kind of turns a little bit, like to the side, like just okay.
We may have gotten on the wrong ship. Did Jeff have one of those cards with our names on it? Do you remember?
Very distinctly, yes.
I don't remember.
I'm asking the group. Glorp is in general just asking questions now and thinking through the conversation that just happened without relaying the whole conversation.
I actually do remember, yes.
John doesn't, I feel like.
Oh my God, he's talking
might.
through. Do you see this? He's fucking talking through it.
I definitely remember it had a sign with our names on it, like 100%.
Okay. But we're not in danger, right? We finished the danger, I think.
I thought we were already in
sitting
danger.
on the danger. I'm gonna go relay this to Percival.
And Glorp just leaves again. And picks the phone back up.
Hello, Glorp. Are you
Hi.
still there?
Percival.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
So I don't think we're still in danger. There was a robot that picked us up and brought us to a space station, and we stole some things. Then we found out he was a robot. Before we thought his name was Jeff, and that's why I think Jeff is who is. Anyways, not important. We killed robot Jeff, not Jeff, and now he's a chair, and we're on our way home.
Wait, you killed someone?
Well, he was a robot and he shot us with other robots. There's a lot of other stuff going on. We have a box of mushrooms for you.
Oh my God, that was the greatest transition.
Hold on, Glorp. I'm sorry. I think I need a moment to process all the things that you just told me.
Everything I need to know about Glorp I learned in the transition between those two topics.
Fran the DM also needs a moment to process.
I don't know. That's pretty inspiration worthy of phone conversation.
Yeah. Glorp, go ahead and take an adult onset inspiration for that.
Thank you.
If for some reason you don't get a chance to use that before this arc ends and we'll go into Dave's, I think that we can say we'll just take it as read. Just mark.
I will absolutely honor this token.
Percival, composes himself and responds.
So, just let me get this clear. You were picked up by someone who turned out to be a robot, and it took you to where exactly?
There was like a bunch of rooms that were all. It was some sort of secret space station. Sorry.
Jam was gonna kind of like waddle up to where Glorp is talking to Percival and just kind of like eavesdrop a little bit.
Sure. Make me a perception check.
He heard mushrooms.
Not great.
What is it though? Tell me.
8.
Okay, you're able to clearly hear the words that Glorp is saying, but it's really hard for you to make out any of the words that are coming from Percival. So
Sure.
any of your responses are going to be based on only the things that Glorp is saying.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Continue, Glorp. You were describing a facility, so you were just rambling on about describing the different rooms of the facility. Like, how are you? Is that like you're not even telling? You're not giving like the overview, or you are giving like a step-by-step walkthrough.
Yes.
We do have a few weeks.
Not a step-by-step walkthrough. Step-by-step walkthrough is not stream of consciousness enough. It's like
So we came in, there was an elevator, and we had to use a battery to make the elevator work. But then there was something shooting, and Choom was riding it kind of like a bicycle. It was so cool. But that he like knocked it out of the ceiling, and it couldn't shoot us anymore. This whole place is supposed to be like top secret. And then there was a room that looked like it maybe had plants in it. I tried to get there through the ceiling, but the ceiling in that room was so weird. Okay, so these ceilings are like 30 feet
God
tall,
damn you.
and then they have drop ceiling tiles, which like I've been in schools for my like whole existence. Drop ceiling tiles are like 5 feet away from the ceiling. This building was so weird, I couldn't crawl through the drop ceiling. So then I think I fell, and I tried to fix a computer. I'm not sure if it worked. I learned I'm a really good hacker. There was another room that we tried to get through that had a door with a window in it, and there was security stuff.
Jam is going to turn around and waddle back down the ladder.
Just fucking Michael Jordan's flu game right now.
Okay. Also, I just need to take a moment to acknowledge the fact that Nicole is using this as an opportunity to roast me in character, because we had a conversation about this past weekend about the whole drop ceiling thing.
Love that. Love that.
That's not how drop ceilings work. There would have been space up there.
You would have fallen right through anyways. I was telling you, I was not going to support your 300 pounds.
Oh my God, I love how they took inspiration and then just immediately started roasting you.
It's okay. It's okay. She has that right, I guess, as a player to do that.
Yeah. So Percy's just gonna sit there and listen to all of this?
Yeah, is anybody gonna stop me from talking?
No,
I'm gonna say
Jam considered it, but he nope.
So busy.
No, what we will do here is yada yada. So we're gonna just say for comedic purposes, 1 hour later. Continue, Glorp.
Give the finish.
Provide the finish of your stream of consciousness.
No, at that point we just got to turning the power on.
Yeah. Provide the middle.
Oh wait, I have to go back to the beginning. Okay, so we were talking about music before we went, and I have this weird cube thing, and I can't figure out how to get it to. We don't really have to go back to the beginning for that. The plant room was really cool, though. I wish we had gotten in there. There was this like leafy thing I would have liked to put near my
3 hours later.
I'm also wondering how my students were doing. I know that Jiminy tends to say that he doesn't have lunch, but he definitely had lunch. Sometimes he has 2 lunches. And then Wham Wham likes to hit things, and I don't know how my supply is going to be doing in there. Oh my God, I completely forgot. We found some information. I don't know, we were talking about maybe selling it to somebody, so you might want to get it on that.
Wait, I'm sorry, I dozed off a little while ago. Did you say you came across some information? What kind of information? Wait, hold on. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time following. Is someone else there?
I mean, there's other people on the ship. We're on a spaceship. Somebody has to be here. I don't. Let me go look for somebody. Please hold.
Put the phone down.
Everybody has fallen asleep in the intervening time. Despite the fact that nobody needs sleep in the
Nobody needs to sleep. Yeah.
Lev's pretending.
Does anyone want to take the phone from Glorp?
I'm busy.
Someone please take the phone from Glorp.
I'm busy.
Jam has no idea this is the point in the conversation that you're at, so he's still fiddling.
Sure, but I mean, now Glorp is now turning to the rest of the group, right?
Mm-hmm.
As Percy has asked if anyone
Well,
else
I mean,
is there.
I came out and looked. I didn't actually ask. I'm just kind of like, so if everybody's faking sleeping, then like I'm coming back to the phone.
Oh no! Why are you
Jam's the
just-
only one not sleeping, but he does seem like he's preoccupied.
Jim's still in the cockpit doing God knows what.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
I
heading
don't
to.
wanna
Glorp
know.
is heading towards the cockpit and is about to knock on the cockpit door, and then suddenly has a look of like, oh, I forgot something, and runs back to the phone and
Picks it up and it's like, oh, I remembered. I think we were in a place called the Maryland cluster, the Mario cluster, the maroon.
Wait, hold on.
cluster.
Let me find my. Let me get my tablet again. Let me see if there's a star chart. Marion cluster. Oh, that's far. Okay. Where are you now? Are you still there? Do you need rescue?
Well, we're on our way back now. I think we fixed all the holes in our spaceship.
How are you getting home?
The same spaceship we used to get here.
But you said the pilot was a robot who tried to attack you.
Yes, and then we killed him and turned him into the chair so Choom could drive.
Choom is piloting.
Choom is piloting. I was the chair for a bit. It was fun.
And so, and everyone agreed that Choom should be the pilot.
And that I should be the chair.
After last time.
What do you mean last time?
The camera cuts to Percival on the other end of the phone, like looking around himself, looking around himself at the remains of the ship that you arrived on the raft at.
Just flashback to us all screaming as we crash into the side of a giant.
Choom wasn't screaming; he was laughing hysterically.
So I don't really see the problem. Now we have a house and a spaceship. Choom's doing great. You need to have more faith, Percival.
Okay, listen. So when you get back, you need to try to. We need to contact Proxy. Okay, we need to get this whole mess sorted out.
Yes.
I wouldn't necessarily call it your ship yet. I just don't want to be commandeering anything that doesn't belong to us. But if we have a ship that's huge, so let's just put a pin in that.
I'm pretty sure it's our ship now.
Yeah, too late.
I think that's
After what I've done to the cockpit, nobody's gonna want this shit.
Oh no!
I mean, it was owned by a bunch of robots.
Ectoplasm.
And we beat the robots. If we beat the robots, we get their ship, right? Isn't that how space works?
I'm pretty sure that's a space
but
law.
that seems like it would be a rule.
Pretty sure that is space.
Hold on, let me float Google something really quick.
Yeah, can we get quick?
Space law on possession. Enter. Oh, apparently possession really is 9/10 of the law here.
Oh, we have a spaceship. I should let Choom know. Ooh, should I let Choom? I should let Choom know. Please hold.
Wait, hold on.
You know what?
You hear him ramble something about you hear the words legal salvage somewhere as you're walking away from the telephone device. You've walked away now, though.
Oh, yeah. I don't go straight to Choom. I also don't mention to anybody that Percival is still on the phone after those 4 hours. I go find some paper and start making a little certificate of ownership for Choom that you can hang in the cockpit.
I imagine you walk past Jam to go get the paper, come back with like paper and some markers and going back in the other direction.
Glitter pens specifically is what I have noted as carrying with me, and stickers.
Jam just looks up for a second. Oh, Jam forgot to ask. How was the conversation with Percy?
Oh, it's going great. I have this brief activity I'm going to do here, and then I'm going to get right back to it.
You're still talking to him.
Uh-huh.
It's been, he looks at, again, not a watch on his wrist. And 7 hours?
I got as far in the story as the part where we went down the elevator and saw the plants. Maybe some other stuff I jumped around a bit, but if you want to finish, the phone's just over there.
They kind of wave and then goes to make the certificate.
Jam will waddle up and pick up the communication device. Percy, Jam.
Oh, Jam. Oh, that's a relief. While I appreciate the stimulating conversation that our ooze friend has to offer, I'm really hoping you maybe can give me more of a better, concise picture of what exactly happened here, because let me tell you, I feel like I've been on I dozed off somewhere in there, and I don't know if I got all the details, and I'm not even sure if all the details were relevant. Apparently something, could you just confirm for me that you were attacked by some sort of robot pilot and other things while exploring some crazy facility somewhere many weeks away from home?
Ambushed, to be precise. Yes, I do believe we have what we need. Maybe.
All right, so so you did the mission? Did they take you to the place? This
Jam's not sure.
I don't even know the details of what. Oh.
Yes. And Jam will fill you in on the mission. Now, Jam was made aware of what Percy told Glorp, or was that, I can't really remember 5 minutes ago whether or not.
No, you could not hear anything that Percival said. You could only hear the words that Glorp was saying.
So he has no idea.
What I relayed was, please hold 1 second.
You have
Where did
notes?
I make this note.
I mean,
where did I make this note?
for as rambly and non sequiturs it was remarkably accurate.
I came back and said something to the effect of somebody came to pick us up a week ago, but we weren't there, so we're probably in danger. But are we in danger? Because we already killed the danger, I think. Yeah, we're not in danger. And then I left. Or something approximately like that.
Right. Okay, so Jam's going to say, what was the danger?
Oh, yes. So I said that the flotilla had sent me a message. Proxy had sent someone to retrieve you in the morning, as you said he was going to, but apparently, according to them, you had already left when the person who was supposed to take you to on this mission came to pick you up.
Did he...
So whoever you left with was not part of the flotilla.
Interesting.
And Proxy believes you may be in danger.
Well, we have a robot corpse now.
I see. Well, good job. I'm really glad that you all survived. Please just get home safely. And let's just try to sort this whole mess out, yes? We didn't do anything, like, overtly illegal, right? Like, I'm not gonna, no surprises, right? I heard we killed somebody, and then I just kind of, I just got very concerned, because I'm just not trying to, go to space prison before we can find our way back home,
Snitches get stitches.
Honestly, it was, successful. We have things, hopefully what we needed. Can you believe, what was his name? Proxy. When he says someone came by.
I mean, yes, it was corroborated by also Father Hayes, who I then went to about it, who was also very concerned for your well-being. He does, he's the only person I know here on the raft, at least, that can communicate directly with the flotilla. I don't really know this Proxy fellow. He didn't come to me ever for anything. I'm not sore about it or anything like that, but, I'm glad that you were fit for the job. I mean, I really hope this means, we're on the up and up. I've been saving some money, but I don't have that much I've built up yet.
Well,
so I hope the payout for this is worth it. I would maybe even suggest asking for a little more, just given all that you've been through.
Jam was concerned that it was a setup. So, like Jam said, we have a robot corpse now.
Let me dig into this whole setup thing, though. I feel like I want to be useful. I feel like I want to help. I want to be part of the team, So let me get back to you on that. You said you're gonna be back in about 2 weeks.
Believe so.
Okay. Contact me again when you get closer, and I guess I'll let you know if I come up with anything. But yeah, just try to get back as soon as possible. No detours, no nothing. Okay, it's dangerous out there. Just get back to the raft safely so we can try to plot our next move. Okay.
Understood. And Jam will put the communication device in his little fanny pack.
I'm gonna go get some sleep.
Okay. So we've contacted Percival. We now know that Jeff was not part of the flotilla whatsoever, that you got bamboozled.
We don't know that.
To a certain degree, potentially. Or potentially this was a setup, right? There's still some unknowns here, but Percival's going to look into that as much as he can for you, and we'll see how that progresses. Any other, now that we're about halfway through our journey, we'll say, right? Any other significant things taking place? Now that March, you have this computing device sort of more or less figured out, you said you were going to run some diagnostics. I'm going to just check back in on that really quick. And I think Lev, before we do that, just really quick, Lev, I know aside from helping Chum out with his his chair project and brew even, I mean, I know you're sitting at the nav console. I know you guys are happy, but I just want to check in if just, if we have to do this before we arrive next time, are there just any significant or other things you would like to try to do this in this time before we get back home, so to speak, using the air quotes?
Yes. I'm curious in the time that we've been on the ship at this point. I have potentially attempted to clean said stains on my clothing. How does that go?
Well, it's interesting because, there's not like necessarily laundry aboard a shuttle like this. I mean, I'm sure there are, you do find some basic cleaning supplies and are trying to just like try to, hand wash.
Like a soap and a sink.
These clothes, right? And I mean, the glow has started to fade as time's progressed, but it kind of stopped fading once you entered the astral sea, right? It's kind of just remained the same. You've tried to clean it the best you can, and while the clothes do look a lot less like just soiled or dirty, like there is still like these remnants of almost like this like luminescence to the areas that were previously like stained. It doesn't smell anymore. It smells nice now. But there is still this very faint sort of glow where that liquid was. Because again, like, if it appears to be, this might be biological in nature still in some way where it's not like degrading or changing state.
And has any of it come out of any of my orifices since then?
No.
I say orifices because I wanted to give you a broad spectrum of where it could be coming out of.
Yes, we really appreciate that.
Broad
all of us
strokes.
really appreciate that. Yes.
Love it.
No, the answer is no.
Okay. So
you feel more or less yourself now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You can spend some time maybe to try to meditate on it, or like, maybe just try to focus in on your own body. I think, some of the monks of the order did teach you a little bit about, just some self-reflection and some self-tuning activities you can do to kind of be more aware of yourself in the present space that you occupy. I'd like you to make me just a wisdom check, please.
Wisdom check. So that is a 10.
A 10. You spend some time trying to like meditate and just try to, maybe just take stock of your own self. Like you feel physically fine, like all the surface stuff feels pretty normal. You feel like brew, more or less, maybe just a little bit more experienced now that you've seen some real like combat and some real things, right?
Yes, I have.
There's this, you're having a hard time focusing though, because like, the ship is never necessarily always peaceful. You have a bunch of essentially, like, not necessarily restless, because again, you have had restful time, but you have a bunch of eccentric personalities here, all doing a bunch of stuff. Like you're having a hard time really tuning out the din of just like the general things that are all the beeps and the sweeps and the creeps and the, and all the sounds of just like daily operations aboard this shuttle. But there's this nagging, this feeling that's almost like that's still trying to draw you in, and but you're having a hard time tuning into it. But it just kind of feels like you're picturing almost like this spark that was bestowed upon you by the monks of the order when you began your initiation into this community and into this order. That's what you've been taught to like kind of focus on and things like that. But it's just, it feels faint to you, but it does feel like it's almost like there is something working within you to help to try to center you. You're just having a really hard time doing so. So you're having a hard time kind of understanding if this was anything, what might have occurred beyond some temporary physical malady. Maybe you came into contact with something, you touched something you weren't supposed to, you didn't realize it, maybe rubbed your hand. And there was a lot of weird shit in this facility that you guys passed by. There's entirely possible something, you may have come into contact with something without even realizing it. And, you had a very unfortunate reaction to it.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
Yeah, and I feel like Brew is one of those people that, because he wants to make sure everyone else is getting along and having fun and doing their thing, he doesn't really tell anybody about his internal stuff.
His own reflection.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
So he's kind of keeping this to himself for the time being. But we're definitely going to have to probably visit a med bay at some point when we get home.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably a smart idea. And then Lev, I was going to check in with you before we finish out with March here. Was there anything significant that you wanted to try to do before, we get close to home, or, we actually arrive at the flotilla and park this ship and see what everyone else has to say?
Yeah, I don't have anything, I guess, majorly significant, but I just imagine that over these couple of weeks, since he can't really contribute to like diagnostic checks or anything on like the ship's systems, I imagine it's just a lot of like mundane ship work for Lev, because there's always something that needs to be swept, I guess, in his kind of dad mind.
There's every now and again when Choom does open the cabin door, it's musty, and there's empty cans all over the place and all these other things. It's just a mess in there.
And he comes in with like incense in his hand, fucking waving it in front of him.
I love you, Lev.
You found like a fucking apron somewhere in like a locker in this shuttle. You've like donned it, and you're like,
I also found
things.
like a crossword book,
Oh my god!
That
yes, absolutely.
When I'm not doing like ship duties, I'm just kind of like sitting there with like my glasses on the edge of my nose, like purse. Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It's a physical one too. This is not like a digital crossword game that's like on a tablet or a computer somewhere. This is like a physical.
Some of them are like half done that I'm like finishing. Yeah.
There are only pens aboard the ship. There are no pencils.
Right.
Woof.
Random thing.
I was envisioning his big like lobster fingers around like a little golf pencil.
Yeah.
Like a mini pen.
Yeah.
One thing, I do remember when we took off that Jeff offered us something for the uneasiness of potentially going into the... What was that? Was that the Scroll of Calm Emotions?
No.
What was that?
That was being passed around by
March.
March. He did not offer anything to you.
I could have sworn.
Necessarily. Maybe because like you would have all taken it if that was the case. I had you all make constitution checks. He did just tell you to buckle up. However, no one had. I'm not sure if we could take a look at a first aid kit, but we'll maybe explore that in a little bit later. But you guys are feeling okay. It's fine. Everything's fine.
That's why I wanted to know for sure. Yeah.
March, you are going to attempt to do. I know you said you were going to do some sort of diagnostic on your tool.
Yes.
Go ahead and make me a computer's check.
So 10 plus 6, a nice modest 16.
Okay. This device has been like locked down. Like there are like layers of encryption that have been added to all of the different routines and things like that are in there. You can see everything at a surface level, but any of the like actual like operative controls of your arcane focus have been effectively locked down, and the code in which it's that is running to continue that process is essentially encrypted, so you can't even you are not currently able to even manipulate it at all. You can't see the actual like code base or whatever's happening. It just looks like random characters, hexadecimal, like just like all there's no rhyme or reason to any of it. It's all obfuscated.
To restore from backup.
What you do notice, however, is that as all of these random lines of text are scrolling up, just make me a perception check, please.
Nat 1.
Oh, fuck!
I love nat 1s in situations that are critical to my character development, let me tell you.
So March, so we're gonna do this then, right?
That
Again,
is
I
the
believe in
character
failing. I believe in failing
development.
forward. You could swear, and maybe it's just because you've been staring too much at the crosswords that Lev has been doing, in this time. But you can swear that you're starting to see like patterns in some of the random characters like that are floating across like your diagnostic screen, right? It's just a sea of random characters. Just imagine like the old like the Fallout computer screens, the green text on like a black background, just scrolling with random hexadecimal shit. And like you are just every now and again, you feel like you pick out a full string of words all in caps, but it just scrolls by so fast. It's so hard to like just catch like what it's saying, and you feel like you are going insane. Like it is driving you mad. Like you feel like you're seeing things. Like because like you're like it's almost like you can't even believe your eyes. Like they're just playing tricks on you. Maybe it's the frustration. Maybe it's like the like that's clouding your ability to kind of analyze this. But like. Yeah. Like so, I'm gonna say that like you're almost like it's driving you mad because you feel like it's almost like it's like talking to you or maybe even mocking you. I don't know. Like you don't. I can't. It's scrolling by so fast you can't even make sense of it.
So March.
Okay. So just as that happens, March just frustratedly yanks the power cord out of the back of the thing.
Right.
Yeah. What?
Oh no, I was just saying, you looking crazy and all that. It's just normal. So none of us are really paying attention to any of this happening.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's
this is my message of non-concern. Yeah. This is my message of non-concern.
Not worried about you at all, buddy.
No.
Can I bum a scroll?
Here. I got something even better. Kind of gestures off to the side and shows you how the active camouflage system in his helm actually worked.
As that's happening, Glorp does walk. I see Glorp walking up now to the group with this like handcrafted certificate of ownership. But the whole top level where the cockpit is of the ship is like hazy and smoky, as the air filtration systems in here are having a hard time keeping up with the amount of.
It's bullshit. I got a good seal on this thing.
Cube's just all the way in it, just comes out, smoke pouring out of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. March in complete denial of what happens when you enter an exit.
Oh, how do you see it then?
That's the cool part. You don't. I was just making it up as I went. I'm so glad I didn't crash into anything.
I see Glorp coming up with the paper.
Oh, you finished your art project?
Art project? This is important legal work.
Oh. Hacker, lawyer, chair.
I use a sticker that looks like an apple and a sticker that looks like a gold star to stick it to the side of the cockpit somewhere.
Yeah, I just got on some sort of empty panel with nothing important on it.
No, over top of something that was probably somewhat important, actually.
For our listeners, for our listeners, we are going to post a picture of what this certificate of ownership is that Glorp just hand drew in our Discord server, so be sure to take a look at that.
I will note that Glorp initially forgot that Percival would be also a part owner because, he's not here, but then added his name to the certificate afterwards.
I'd like to make a history check to know if, because I had been living among the flotilla, if I would know a little bit more about this salvage law kind of stuff.
Sure.
Just to see. Let's see, a 16 plus history, which is going to be at least a 4. I think that's going to be at least a dirty 20. Not looking.
Sure.
6. So yeah, 22. So yeah, actually, that's a lot more legally binding than you'd think. Salvage laws, dude. Salvage laws, fucked up.
Oh, Percival told me this is our ship now.
Chum's gonna read it,
right.
And while he's reading it, you just see every fiber of his being shaking, from behind as he's looking, and he turns, and his entire eyes are just glazed over with tears. And he says, "Glorp, it's beautiful. Can we make one suggestion?" And he reaches up with a little grease finger, and where it says the ownership, he just writes SS Astrid. It's perfect. Thank you. And he goes to give Glorp whatever their version of a hug would be.
Like a normal hug, but you end up looking again like a 70s Jello food.
All encompassing.
So, on a happy note, which is sometimes, occasionally rare for a cliffhanger of the Hapless Heroes podcast, we will end this episode
on a heartstring tearjerker.
Yeah. Really, there's one last thing we have to do, and that's see what the aftermath of this is at the flotilla. We're also going to level up to level 2 at the end of this adventure. You have all performed as admirably as you could, given the circumstances.
I almost died.
So, yeah.
I'm the circumstances.
So, until we wrap it up next time, I would like to just say a few things to you out there. Yes, you, the listener of this very episode of the Hapless Heroes podcast. If you like us, you can find us on the internet. All of the places in which we are located are all nice and organized into a tree of links, a link tree, if you will, at linktr.ee/haplessheroes. You'll have links to all of our social media sites and all of the other internet present things, merch and Patreon and all that stuff, as well as what we consider to be the crown jewel of our Discord, or of our internet presence, and that is our Discord server, where you can talk to all of us, the cast members and folks who make this show possible, all of the lovely members of our community. There is no price to enter. Just don't be an android, like I said. Don't be a Jeff. We're talking about all the episodes. We have a different thread we create for every episode of this particular season, so that we funnel all the discussion into all those things. Talking a little bit about some of the behind the scenes, even sometimes. We're always doing different stuff in there. Occasionally we host listening parties and whatnot. We're talking about actually potentially doing some listening parties for our prior campaign, right? Somewhere within the 7 years of that span, there's plenty of great standalone episodes, and we might just cherry pick a few of our favorites and revisit some of those and listen to those along with the rest, the rest of our audience, and have a little fun and talk about what was the stuff that was going on at the time we were making that event. So join our community. It's a really cool place to be, and again, it's just on our link tree. You'll find the invite link to the server there. Now, if you really, really like us, you can leave us a 5-star review or rating in the podcast service of your choice. All of that does is really just help our show get more eyes on it through the whatever algorithms exist out there to make us more visible. I hate this whole self-promotion thing, but we must do what we must in order to get more people to listen and enjoy the things. If you're having fun, we encourage you to make sure to help someone else see this and join this and have a great time along with it. And hey, if we see the nice and kind words you leave for us on a review or even in the 5-star channel on our Discord server, if your podcast service does not allow you to leave one, we'll acknowledge you here on the air as the 5-star human being that you are. It's a fun little thing we do just because we do appreciate it. It's a wind in our sails whenever we read the nice things y'all have to say about us. But now, listen, if you really, really, really like us, you could donate to our Patreon. It's just patreon.com/haplessheroes. We have a whole bunch of stuff pretty much at the $5 reward tier and up, gets you access to everything. It's all of our behind the scenes audio, our bloopers, our extra bonus episodes. We're doing lore corner episodes and a variety of topics of the stuff that we wrote for this season, some of the modifications we've made to existing rules just to kind of support the sci-fi setting. It's a really cool thing that we've been trying to do. We've also been, we had some interviews that we've done recently. We actually just put up not too long ago an interview with Tim, the guy who behind tabletopaudio.com. It was an awesome conversation, and that's actually free for everyone to listen to, and you can find that on our Patreon page and even our bonus content feed, which we send off to Spotify. So just, we're always just trying to come up with new ways to kind of make more stuff for you, to say thank you for all of you who have helped keep the show running for so many years. And so just take a look and see if it's right for you. It's patreon.com/haplessheroes. And that's really all I have to say. So until the next time we meet, let me outro the wonderful cast of characters that you've heard tonight, starting in the reverse order in which they were introduced. John is Jam Jam.
Until next time.
Cole is Glorp Blup Blup.
I can't wait to decorate our ship.
Bastion is Chum Daloon.
I can't believe it. It's really hard.
It's bubble booger.
Is he actually crying? Michael as Brunner Brew Blitzboar.
I really hope I can learn to get these stains out.
Lewis as Lev Zangief.
What is a 4-letter word for piece of shit robot?
Jeff.
And Dave as March.
I really am screwed, aren't I?
And I'm Francesco. I've been your host and DM. We'll see you next time as we conclude this adventure and see what kind of rewards our friends get here. Maybe they can negotiate for something a little extra. We'll find out. Bye-bye now.
Bye.